What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk with you guys about martial arts and when it's too old, or if there's any point that you're too old to get started. And I want to go over and I want to talk about a fight career, a professional fight career, and talk about when it's too late for you to really be realistic that you're going to be able to chase that goal. We're going to look at both aspects today. One of the main things that I like to tell individuals when they're thinking about doing martial arts, it could be parents of students or just potential students, I like to tell them martial arts is something that you can do for your entire life. It doesn't have to be chopped off when you're like 30 years old or you hit 40. Done. You can't continue anymore. I have seen so many people at the gym who are 70 years old and they're hitting the bag. Or I've even sparred with guys who are 60 and we're not going super hard, but we're still going through the motions. We're still having fun. And to me, this means that you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, I'm 30 years old. I didn't start martial arts when I was a child. Therefore, there's no point in me even diving in to this sport anymore. No, absolutely not. Ideally, of course, yes, you start when you're a child or a teenager, so that by the time you hit your 20s, you're already really good at it. You have the foundation down, you have the balance, the coordination, the strength, all of that is already established. And yes, it's going to be harder to get that much better when you start at an older age, but it doesn't mean it can't be done. And like I already said, keep in mind this is a sport you can do for your whole life. You could be 80 years old, still punching away on the bag, still having fun, and not going, well, man, I started when I was 40, and if you were 80 when you're still hitting the bag, I only had 40 years. Oh, I should have had 60 if I would have started in my 20s. Who cares? If you're doing it for fun, to be athletic, to be healthy, then it's all going to be beneficial for you. So my simple answer to am I too old to start training martial arts at any age? It's none. There's no too old. You can always start off. You can always get better and better. And remember, it's not about being better than everybody else. It's about being better than you would have been without any training. And it might be fitness related. It might be confidence. It might be self-defense. It might be fighting depression, whatever it is. Martial arts is going to help you become a better person, in my opinion. Now, being a pro fighter, that is a completely different conversation, because there is a timeline where we're going to kind of get a cutoff and we're going to go, no, you're realistically too old. So let's start off and let's first talk about what age you probably want to start martial arts if you're thinking you want it to be your career, your full-time career, where you're actually going to make money and you're going to invest 100% energy into the fight sport. In my opinion, if you have not started in your early 20s, it's going to be very difficult to accomplish. And let me explain why. If you're, let's say, 22 years old and you just start martial arts, that means you probably have 2 or 3 years to start getting the basis down, to get fairly good enough that you can go in and have amateur fights and compete at a decently high level. And throughout those maybe, let's say, 3-4 years, you want to build your amateur record. You want to accumulate a vast number of fights so your experience level is high. So if you manage to do all of that, learn martial arts, have those entry-level amateur fights, get really high-level amateur fights, and you can condense that into 4-5 years. If we said we're starting at 22, that's getting you into 26 or 27, which is great. That's fine. Then you have to make that transition to pro. But let's say you're looking at MMA or something. So you need 10 fights. In those 10 fights, to get yourself into the UFC, that again could take another 3 years. So all of a sudden you're at 30. Things are still looking okay. Things are still looking good. You can build up from there and become a high-level pro fighter who's making some good money. That's okay when we're talking about starting around 22 years old. If we start going deeper and we go, the guy's 25 or 26, then we're going to have a real crunch period, a real time where you're going, oh shoot, I need to get started. I need to move on because I'm going to run out of time and I don't want to be in my late 30s just getting into the UFC. Now, of course that's okay, and there are fighters getting into the UFC in their late 30s, but again, if you want to make a career, you want to maximize your chance of becoming a UFC champion, let's say, then yes, it's better to start early, but the cutoff line is not distinct. And I have many people messaging me saying, oh, Gabriel, I'm 22 years old, or I'm 18 years old, or whatever age. And they go, oh, I feel like it's too late. Like it's passed me by. I shouldn't even bother, right? And I go, no, you're very young. Like even for myself, I had a very long martial arts growth period before I started actually competing, but I didn't have my first fight until I was 20 amateur, and 25 was my first pro fight. And now at 36, I'm still feeling strong, still feeling like I want to go out and do some competition. So yes, it is ideal to start martial arts when you're a child, a teenager, but if you do get started in your 20s, early 20s, no problem. Mid 20s, I think you're still okay. It's going to be very condensed. You're going to have to really dedicate yourself, but if you are somebody who's not going, I want to be a UFC champion, my goal is just to get into the UFC, to get into one of these elite promotions, then you can start pushing the timeline back even further. And if you start going, okay, you know, I'm 25 and I want to start my martial arts and I'm looking just to get into the UFC by the time I'm 35, that's a 10-year window. That is a long darn time to accomplish something, a whole decade. So do not sell yourself short. Do not close the book on achieving your dream. Even if you're 27, 28, 29, it can be done. But in those instances, you want to have your backup career. You want to have another job that you're putting time in at. So if at some point you go, ooh, you know, I'm 36 years old and this fight situation is not working out, I'm not making money, you want to have that backup career that you can jump back into, and you don't have that massive stress of knowing, oh my gosh, I just sacrificed the last 5-6 years of my life trying to become a professional mixed martial artist, and now that's gone and I don't have anything else to fall back on. So just do appropriate planning, think ahead, and be smart. But overall, this episode is just for the people out there that I want to inspire to try martial arts or to pursue their dream of being a fighter. If you have one of these two things that you're really hoping to do, don't let age hold you back. Yes, for pro fighting, there is a shelf life. If you want, you know, to start fighting professionally, and you're 35 with no martial arts experience, yes, unfortunately, that's not probably going to work out for you, but you can still begin martial arts, and I can almost guarantee you, not 100%, but almost guarantee you that it will improve your life. It has done great things for my life, and I can't do anything but recommend incorporating martial arts into your existence. I just think you'll be so much happier, so much healthier, just all around good things come from this sport. And that is my thought, guys, on basically, am I too old for martial arts or for pro fighting? I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope it motivates you, some people out there, to maybe grab a friend who thinks they're too old to start martial arts and just drag them in. Get them in there, show them this episode, and just give them that inspiration to include this wonderful activity that we can all be a part of. If you guys enjoyed the episode, please give it a like. If you have not already, join the channel, get subscribed. Train hard, guys. I'll see you back here soon for another video.